now welcome back our participants to the post-lunch session. We now have Mr. Sugat Das, Country Manager India for Instituto Europeo de Design Spa joining us. Mr. Sugat Das has more than 15 years of experience in the field of marketing, branding, media design, strategic management, and international relations. He has been heading India operations for Instituto Europeo de Design (IED) Group as country manager for the last 7 years. He is currently a doctoral candidate at ISE Paris. He is certified in design thinking and product innovation from MIT Sloan School of Management and an executive certification in leadership and management from the Wharton School, University of Pennsylvania. He also holds a master's in media and advertising from UBI, Brussels, and bachelor's in computer engineering from a Californian university in US. In his 15 years of professional career, he has worked with top brands in IT like Microsoft, Wipro, and Electronic Data Systems merged with HP. In the education arena, he has worked with University of Sussex, UK, Laureate International Universities, Pearl Academy, Indo-Italian Chamber of Commerce and Industry as General Manager, Italian Education Hub, and Instituto Europeo di Design. He has a keen eye for various innovative and creative aspects in design of strategies and their efficient implementation, specifically in design education. Over to you, sir.
Hello, everyone. I generally hate this part of giving such a big speech about what I have as a profile and portfolio. Anyways, basically, what you need to know about me is I am a designer. I am very passionate and very curious about various design aspects when it comes to design thinking, product innovation. So these are some of the things, and entrepreneurship, which is basically nowadays the big buzzword in any of the educational institutions or the corporate environment. So as a student, what is more important for anybody of you to understand is how to implement, where to implement, and when to implement. So these three questions are the most important questions. And if you can solve the puzzle, then of course you are the most successful entrepreneur and innovator, which is going to be there, prevalent for next 15 years. Because if you do constant innovation, that's where you will succeed. Because nowadays there is redundancy. We generally call in design language, there's a lot of redundancy. Okay, so if you can break the chain of redundancy, then only it is a possibility that you will be able to become a good creative person. I never consider subjects. Okay, you are from architecture, I am from design, there's somebody who's from engineering, there's somebody from medicine. So always there is a question that they generally, my students ask me that, sir, do you consider these as designers? I ask the same question to you all, okay, over here. And believe me, I don't believe in only talking and talking, because I know if I start talking and 45 minutes I'm talking, half of you are all sleeping over there. Okay, I can't see your faces, so I can put the pinpoint who is doing that. If it had been a class, I would have certainly done that. So he's that's how it should be. Pranesh, right? Pranesh is smart enough. He came the moment I said everybody's sleeping. He came on camera. Okay, so the thing is, for students of any stream, design and innovation is always there. That's what is my feeling and my perception. Because when you talk about a doctor, how many of you know about orthodontist? Those who know, please unmute your camera and say yes. Do you know orthodontist? Somebody, Mani Krishna, yes, tell me. You have raised your hand. CS Mani Krishna. Wow, I'm seeing a lot of hands. So whosoever, you just feel free to speak. Don't wait for me to call you. Do you know an orthodontist, Himani, Amira?
Yes, sir. It's a dentist who's qualified to treat irregularities in the teeth, yeah, and
Okay,
jaws.
that's a technical definition. Are they designers, Himani?
Yeah, they are designers. They design your dentures. So they would.
Really? Okay. So when you go to an orthodontist, the first big hoarding, what you find? We design what? Fill in the blanks.
Smiles.
Pranesh is smiling. Yes, absolutely. Any orthodontist you go, they will tell you, we design smiles. Is she a designer? No answers. Yes, of course she is a designer. It's design or architecture. Architecture is also a design, you know that? Leave the technical aspects. The aesthetic part of architecture is design, purely design. Design doesn't mean that you're creating a garment, you're creating a product. Design can be anything. Design is just the perception. And that's what is the core basics of Italian design. And that's what we have been preaching since 57 plus years. Okay, now everybody must be waiting that, oh, sir is not coming up with a boring presentation. I will come up with a presentation. My presentation is 85 slides. I will not present that completely. Don't worry. Okay, I'll not make you bored in this session. I believe in more of an interaction. So that's the reason I do these design thinking and innovation workshops in various design colleges. So when I say that design is a perception, yeah, see, one by one, I will see all the cameras open now. Hemani, if I say what design means to you, what do you think? Unmute your
Sir,
mic.
I actually couldn't hear you. Sorry, there's some problem.
Okay. What is design for you?
It's like the. It's like proper. I don't know how to put it in words. So yeah,
What is architecture for you?
it's like proper designing of spaces for our function and everything.
But in technical language, they call it interior design, not architecture. Architecture is addition of aesthetics with technicality. You study the blueprints, you give the technical details. Oh, you know what? Here is the beam. You cannot make the beam here, right? Why? There must be some technical flaws in it, right? No? Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Or am I very right? That's okay. So guys, let's jump quickly to the presentation. Otherwise, ma'am will say that, sir did not give any information. I'll give you complete information about ID. Okay. Let's do that first. And if you have any questions, we'll address that afterwards. There we are. Okay. Tell me when you see the screen.
We can see it now.
Can you see the screen? Okay, great. So, welcome to YED. We don't call it IED. It's called YED. What does YED mean? YED means Instituto Europeo di Design, one of the most famous names from Europe, going into design, fashion, visual arts, and management. So this is I would say these are the 4 fields which we cater to for students across the world. We started in 1966, the second oldest in Italy, after Marangoni. Marangoni was set up in 1935. Why did we start? We started because there was a need to give a platform to the local artisans, which were not called designers those times. They were called artisans. So those artisans were given a platform through YED. And that was the need of creation of YED. So I generally call that YED network is basically a platform to connect students with organizations. And this platform was built, you can see the hashtag, to find your difference. Every designer is unique in this world. So we wanted to understand how, and that is how it is. Okay. Let's go to the second slide. Okay, now this is basic 50 plus years of experience. 1966 we set up international network. We have 12 locations, 7 in Italy, 3 in Spain. Sorry, I remember the 2 because 2020 we set up a new campus in Spain and 2 in Brazil. Okay, so this is what is the logistics. We have 10,000 students which enter our campuses every year. And we have more than 100 nationalities studying at IED. Okay, so these are the basic facts about IED. And we cater to undergraduate, master programs, semester programs, summer programs, and basically executive education courses. What is the mission of IED? IED, as I said, is a platform to give exposure to students and connect them to organizations. We work on the design knowledge and mindset of these young talents. Why we have chosen this mission? Because there is a lot of hue and cry when it comes to design. People say that these are not traditional careers, engineering, and specifically being in India, we know that people more preferably go to engineering, go to medicine, so these are traditional careers. I still remember those days when my parents, when I told about media design, I got a very Hindi sentence from my known people that jhola leke painting karoge. That was something which was told to me. So I was like very scared that, oh my God, if these people are saying that I will just do graffitis on walls, that's not design basically. But we understand it in a very different way. So that's the reason we wanted to show the world that there is this design knowledge, and we wanted to create a mindset with this design knowledge. Basically, our core of IED is this. 50 years of creativity. The first thing which is so highlighted with IED is it's 100% Italian. People say a lot of things. We know Italian design, we promote Italian design, but they are run by Americans. If Americans, as a person, we really stress on the fact that until and unless people who are really believing that Italian design is the best in the world, if they are not managing something in Italian design education, they cannot be 100% Italian. So that's why we have 100% Italian DNA. Of course, born in 1966 by one of the visionary persons from Italy, Mr. Francesco Morelli, late I would say, because he's no more with us. And we had been operating since then in design, fashion, visual arts, communication, management, arts, you can say, but this is overall the fields we work in. We have campuses in Italy in these places: Milan, Turin, Rome, Cagliari, Florence, Venice. Cagliari is, and I would come to this point at a later stage, all of our campuses have some meaning. We did not choose random cities to create campuses. There is a logic behind that. And of course, also Academy of Fine Arts Aldo Galli, which is under the ministry. So that's an art gallery, which is also a campus of IED network. In Spain, we are present in the most beautiful cities, Madrid, Barcelona, and we opened up this new campus in the mid of a pandemic. That's Bilbao. We also have 2 campuses in Brazil, Rio de Janeiro and Sao Paulo. Okay, now this is very important for any creative person to understand that design cannot happen like engineering or like management. Design needs to have one statement: get your hands dirty. So we always love to have students who will come as a gentleman in the morning. I generally tell this to my students. And in the evening, they should look like a mason. That's a designer. Got it? So that's what is called project culture, hands-on learning. So we say that, and yet the students, when he moves out of the campus, he should be job ready. Entrepreneur. That's what is the focus words, keywords for yet. Learning to learn. Now, I don't know how many of you have heard this word in India. It says that we do industry projects. Okay, so of course we do have lecturers. Now there is a concept of lecturers in YED network as well. We don't have academic lecturers. So if you would have been in a class full of students, I would have asked this question: are you scared listening to this? But we don't have, we say 1900 lecturers, but we don't have academic professors, right? So this might scare students, and it always, after this sentence, there is silence whenever I address the students. What we do then, if we don't have academic professors? We have professional professors. What does this mean? This means that a professor is a designer himself, not academically. He's a designer who's working at Gucci, who's working at Prada, who's working at 3M, who's working at Ferrari, Maserati. He is coming and teaching the students on a daily basis. That's the culture. And we do state that we take 25 students in one class, or rather one course, from the whole world once in a year. So we are highly selective when it comes to students. 25 is the maximum benchmark. We don't take above that, but generally, believe me, we don't have more than 20 students in that batch. Because after a threshold, if we see that the students are not capable of 3 things: passion, motivation, and skill set, these 3 things are really, really important for YED to enter YED as a student. Okay? Learning by doing. Now, this is something which is called hands-on learning. There's a word called hands-on learning. We believe in this fact. How we do this hands-on learning, because generally, you know, this is a cliche. Everybody says this, that we do learning by doing, hands-on learning days. That for us, hands-on learning means, I'll give you an example. In 2019, I was there when during January month in Milan. So Tommy Hilfiger suddenly came to the campus in Milan, and they stated that, you know, give me some students from photography, some students from fashion design, some students from product design in a class, arrange them in a class. So we said, okay, fine, no issues. So since I was actively involved, I took the students, somewhere around 60 students, and we placed them. They gave a presentation about Tommy Hilfiger. And the next statement from them was, we want to create a contest to create the winter t-shirt collection for millennials. So we said, okay, fine, you give us the brief, we'll circulate among the students, and then we will do it. They said, no, now, right now. So we were like surprised. What kind of, what they are trying to do. So they divided the 60 students in a group of 5. And there were groups. They gave 1.5 hours to these students to come up with a project on the spot. No need to have a prototype, just show us, walk us through. And one group won that competition the very same day. Once they did that, these guys were taken to Tommy Hilfiger manufacturing unit. And you would not believe, I came to know through a student. One of my students was an Indian student. In the month of April or May, she passed out and she called me up and she was very excited. So I said, what happened, Shruti? So she said, I was in a mall in Gurgaon and there was a Tommy Hilfiger store. I was trying to purchase something with my mom. And you know what? I saw my design. So I was like, really? She's like, yes, I will send you a picture. She sent me a picture standing besides that. She told Tommy that this is my design and everything. So this is learning by doing for us. Special projects with companies, with regular classes. This is hands-on learning for us. Learning with companies, go to the companies, see the manufacturing units, understand how they work. They might also like you as a student or anybody as a student to give an innovative idea, work on that design, and present it in front of them. So that is learning with companies. So there are a lot of special projects, which a lot of requests are there, I would say, from Ferrero, from Maserati, from Pininfarina, or from Gucci. They come to us. Amazon, Reebok, Nike, they come to us and we redirect these to our students, and finally they come up with a project. Academic partnerships, this is something which is very important. So we are present in all the biggest possible associations, which is Cumulus, ELIA, WDO is World Design Organization, NTAC, and various other international organizations. We are also part of Erasmus Exchange Program. So these are some of the academic partnerships. I'm not going in detail into these things so that we can cross it fast. Okay, now this is very important. I want to spend some time here. I was telling you that we did make our campuses because we had an idea behind that. This is that idea, Genius Loci. Every city which we have built as a campus has an history behind them. So we created a transportation design campus in Turin or Torino because it's the automotive manufacturing hub of the world. Florence, luxury manufacturing hub of the world. Leather manufacturing hub of the world. Milan, advertising, media hub of the world. Fashion capital of the world. Again, if we shift 2 hours to Rome, theater, drama, entertainment capital, or Italian cinema is very prevalent over there. So now let's compare what is so different in these cities when you compare. Let's take a course, fashion design. Fashion design in Turin, fashion design in Milan, fashion design in Rome. So fashion design in Milan would be more fashion focused. Fashion, when I say fashion focused, which is into media, which is into couture. Couture means haute couture, the fashion shows, to break in a general language. When you go to Rome, it changes. The focus is on cinema. The focus is on costume designing. The focus is on jewelry, costume jewelry. Then when you shift your focus to Turin, that becomes fashion accessories for transport. So jackets, glares, then bike accessories. So these are different categories of fashion. I hope you have understood. And if there are any questions, you can ask me at the end. Okay, so this is genus. Actually, genius is an English word. The Italian word is genus loci. So it was by Leonardo da Vinci. This concept was given by him. Okay, what are the areas we cater to? Fashion, most important. Design, communication and management, visual arts and communication, art and restoration. What we have in design. So all these things which you're seeing here have been made by our students. So we are ranked second in the world for transportation design, and we create a concept car every year and present it at the most elite Geneva Motor Show. So the car you are seeing is Shiva. Okay, and this year, I think in 2022, we created Suzuki Mitsano. We generally create this car with this concept car with a partnership of a company. So we have done it with Pininfarina, we have done it with Abarth, we have done it with Ferrari, we have done it with Maserati, we have done it with Hyundai. I think Honda, before Mizano, it was Honda Tomo. Before that, it was Shiva. Before that, it was Hyundai Kite. Before that, it was Hyundai Passaporto. So I can just name it. So right now we have a bandwagon of 19 cars, which has been created. So if you go to YouTube, type in Instituto Europeo, the design cars, you will get it. Okay, so we do 4 things in design: product, transportation, management, and innovation. In design, also we have furniture design, interior design, services design. When it comes to fashion, you have a whole gamut of courses. So fashion and accessories design, fashion stylist and communication. We also have a solo fashion stylist course, fashion marketing, and fashion business management. Jewelry design, we have specifically a niche jewelry design. So this is in collaboration with Tiffany at times, with Pitti Filati. Pitti Filati is the biggest textile exhibition in Italy. So you can see textiles in this. When it comes to visual arts and communication, we have this segment of courses is very, very interesting for Indian students. So advertising and branding, communication design, illustration, animation, game design. Indian students are crazy about game design. Graphics design, media and interaction design. Then photography, sound design, video design, virtual design is basically VR, okay? Virtual reality. Visual arts. And a combination of communication and management, brand management and communication. Again, very, very good for Indian students. I have a lot of Indian students who go to brand management and communication. Then business design. Events and experience design. So experience design is user experience design. Then marketing and digital marketing. Arts and restoration, we also have these courses, very niche, very unique kind of courses. Arts management, arts and culture, conservation and restoration, curatorial practice. Okay, so, IED community is more than 1.2 lakhs now. I'm talking only about students. So you can understand we have a huge network of students, professors, professionals, teachers, corporates, you name it, we have it. We have the biggest possible names which collaborate with us on a yearly basis. Okay? These are some of the professors. You have a lot of, you can relate to these people because they are mostly, in Italy before 2004-5, there was a trend that you can only become a designer if you are an architect. Okay, so you will see a lot of architects transforming into designers. So you can see a lot of them here. So Luca is a very famous name. Luca Borgogna, he is chief designer of Lamborghini and Pininfarina. Pininfarina is now a Mahindra company. Then this person is again, she's very famous. Chico Ferretti is also very famous. He's got the Red Dot Design Award, I think thrice. Then Maria Mallo is an architect. She has worked with 3M. She has worked with John Nong LaSalle. So then Gaetano Di Gregorio. Gregorio is very famous for his artworks, rather than only, he has his own studio, design studio, but he is very famous to have a unique opportunity to design aesthetically a small space and convert into a beauty of art. So this is his specialty. Julia Weens is again very famous. She has worked with Karl Lagerfeld. I don't know whether you are aware of him. Karl Lagerfeld is a former Fendi designer. He's an icon. He's a fashion icon. So who else? Okay, so I would Massimo Verone. You know Leo Burnett. Leo Burnett is a very famous ad agency. So he's a creative director of Leo Burnett. So I'm just picking up names. That doesn't mean that, you know, other people are not very famous. So these are the people, as I said, these are professionals who teach you on a daily basis. Okay, Daria Filardo is a former National Geographic lady, Art and History Channel. She also has presented some editorials for Vogue magazine, so she's also very famous. Okay, now as I was telling, this is the alumni network, 120,000 students, which is growing every year. And this is the data from 2019, so 3 years old. So you can understand we have grown more. So you can think of 1.5 lakhs student alumni spread across the world. These are some of our alumni who are very well known. They have become famous. Okay, this person is, of course, he's very famous these days. Antonello Stornelli, he's from Disney. I also have an Indian student here. Yeah, and this guy, this is an Indian student. He was very famous. He became from this small documentary, which was presented in 2 art festivals, one Venice Film Festival as well. So again, then these are transportation design alumni, McLaren guy, Dior. So I'm just floating names to you. I think I'll scroll down because we have a lot of slides. So you can just have a glimpse. There's a lot of, this is my student. So these are both are my students and I'm really proud of them. So this girl has, in last 5 years, she has won most, you can say the largest growing startup brand in branding and communication management, Firebrand India. Her office is in Pune. Kirti is, again, she had won the International Design Award in 2019 for media, she was into media design, innovation. We have a course called MDI, Master of Design, Innovation, Strategy and Product. She presented a strategic design project for innovation. Transportation designer, Manifattura Automobile. This is also my student as well. So, okay. So I'm just scrolling these. These are some of the awards won by IED students at an international level. So we are very much present in any of the international competitions. So you know this Hyperloop pod competition. Hyperloop is, you know who presented Hyperloop, right? So Hyperloop is a very, very famous project, and very soon it will come to India from Mumbai to Pune. That's there. Then we have the ADLOS Awards, which is very famous again. It's similar to, it's a student level of Red Dot. So these are some of the awards which has been given to our students. Let's focus on the courses. Academic offerings from our side are undergraduate, postgraduate, semester and year abroad, foundation courses, summer and continuing education, which are executive education courses. Foundation courses are one-year courses which are available at IED. If we see that a student is not very much fluent with designing skills, then generally they get into this global design foundation with some specific subjects, and then they complete 1 year, they identify which is the design field they want to go, whether it's interior products, fashion, or let's say animation, game design, and then they shift to that course. Undergraduate, Bachelor of Arts with honors, ID diploma, that's a private diploma course, and professional training programs. So BA is certified by the Ministry of Education, whether it's Spain, Italy, or Brazil. So it's under the ministry. Bachelor of Arts with honors is through Westminster University, and it's now only present in Spain, nowhere else. ID diploma is a private course. Generally, Indian students don't go for this, but if some students are really having a lack of results, like they don't have acceptable results, or their English communication skills are not up to the mark, then they can opt for ID diploma. Post-graduation, we have first level master's degree, we have an online master's degree, we have Master of Design Innovation Intensive, that is postgrados, is in Spain. Postgrados is just postgraduate, nothing else, and blended master's program. So blended master's program will be hybrid and on campus. It can also be evening courses. So evening master courses, which are again with the ministry. Some of them are with the ministry, some of them are run directly by YED. Summer courses, these are, okay, so the duration for masters is 1 year. Apart from 2 master degrees, every course for masters is 1 year. So there are 2 courses, Master of Transportation Design and Master of Transdisciplinary Design. These are 2 unique courses which IED has, and for these courses, you will spend 2 years at IED. Rest, all of them, whether it's interior, whether it's product, whether it's fashion, it's 1 year. Okay? Then we have summer courses. These are basic courses to understand the teaching methods at IED. So it's 2 to 3 weeks or 3 to 4 weeks, whichever is the nomenclature according to the course coordinator. And you will spend 3 weeks to 4 weeks in IED to understand whether you should opt for a master course or a bachelor course at IED. Semester and year, 1 year courses. These are basically for those people who are already in the industry. So for example, you are an architect. You want to get into urban design. Okay, so you spend a semester at IED, 6 months. Generally, we don't call it a 6 months course, it's 3 to 4 months. And you understand the Italian way or the Spanish way of presenting design. And then you take those skill sets, come back to your company to work. This is the motive of these semester courses. 1 year courses are basically, we call them academic year courses. So these are 1 year courses, but generally feasible for, again, people who are working professionals who want to enhance and change their mindset to Italian design way or Spanish design way. Continuing education is basically collab courses with corporates, like we do some career enhancement programs with Gucci, Prada, these kind of companies. Tiffany, you can see this is a Tiffany product. Well, how to apply? So this is the most important aspect for any student in India. You have to apply online at ied.edu. Okay, you choose a course, you go through the admission requirements. We have only 3 requirements. First, portfolio. Very, very, very important. A good portfolio for us, not only sketching skills. Always remember this. Second, motivation letter. Why you want to do this course. Third, I want to understand your level of English. And fourth, that is optional. If required, you will be asked to undergo an English test if you don't have TOEFL or IELTS. Okay. Once you start this process, you are eligible and we find your portfolio good and everything, then we offer you to enroll yourself as a student. Okay. Once you enroll, you pay the enrollment fees. Before that, no application fees for us. Okay. Don't worry about that. Once you get enrolled, then your process starts with the ministry. So you have to go online, upload documentation on the ministerial website, which is called Universitali. I'm just giving you a brief idea. When you come in for an admission process, you will come to know, or we will be always there for help. So don't worry about that. But that's I'm giving the idea so that you come to know about it. Once it is done with the ministry, then you go for the visa. Once the visa is accepted, you come to IED, and you're most welcome. Okay. So before reaching IED, you complete the tuition fee payment. That's the thing. Financial aid. Now, this is the biggest question which generally Indian students ask. We have some dedicated set of scholarships, so master programs. We start in the month of January. So now, I think it's been a week now, we have just launched our master scholarship contest. What we do in this contest is we give you a brief. You have to create a project out of it. You have to submit it online. We'll evaluate the project and we will offer a scholarship. So every course will have one scholarship for the world. Okay? And then we also have a pipeline. So waiting list of, because there are some times when due to some circumstances, these scholarship students are not able to take up the scholarship. So we give opportunity to 3 students. We create a merit list of 10 students. And then first, if they accept it, good. If they don't, it goes to the second one. If they don't, it goes to the third one. Generally, till the third one, it hardly reaches. But there has been exceptions. This year only, we have in Bachelor an exception where 2 Indian students for transportation design have got 50% scholarship. And our scholarship is 50%, flat 50%. Okay. And there is a chance, because transportation design is 2-year course, there is a chance you can carry forward that scholarship to the second year as well, if you are in the top 5% of the class. Okay, for master courses, I generally don't emphasize this because all the master courses are 1 year, only apart from 2 courses. This is the application process and scholarship. Financial aid, again, it depends on some kind of discounts, but those are not carried forward to the second year. 10%, 15%, that's it. And if the portfolio is really good, we offer even 20%. Okay, so so this is some of the campus pictures. We have an IED Milano, IED Cagliari, IED Florence, Firenze, IED Rome, Torino or Turin, Venezia, Venice, Academy of Arts, Aldo Galli. This is already done. Okay, so what are the courses we have? This is in Italian, so Indian students can't get into this. Furniture design, yes. Textile design, yes. In English, this is IED Spain. IED Spain, Barcelona. This is the Barcelona campus. This is the Madrid campus. Okay, a very unique fact about the Madrid campus is this is a 400 years old castle, which we have converted into a campus. We have created, since I stay in Mumbai, I can tell you, there's an UNESCO compound over here where all the exhibitions happen. This was a place where all exhibitions used to happen. We have converted that exhibition center into a campus. This is IED Brazil. This is Rio. So the Rio campus is a beach resort. This is Sao Paulo. And these are about facilities. So We have all the ultra modern facilities which are there in design campus. So whether it's 3D modulars, 3D laser cutters, CNCs, high-speed plotters, printmaking equipment, so photo studios. We generally believe, we have students from photography, fashion, product. These students which you're seeing in this photo studio, this is inside IED. They're collaborating. Don't think that they are from one batch or one, course. They are a collaboration like a corporate organization. So that's why when you can relate to this concept that they are job-ready professionals. Got it? Okay, so IED for companies, this is something which we do on a daily basis. So if Maserati comes to us and tells that we want to have a special project with your students, we provide that to a Maserati. Tailor-made. Now, this is something which is specifically designed. We call these special projects with the faculty members and the company. This is what I explained already. San Pellegrino is sparkling water. Okay, now this is a very important slide. So these are some of the companies which we collaborate every year. The number is 1,000. I cannot put 1,000 companies in one slide, so I've just put some of them which I like. So these are some of the companies: LSC, Max Mara, Siemens, very famous company, Apple, Canon, Lego, Giorgio Armani, Coca-Cola, HP, Pirelli, Louis Vuitton, Prada. So these are, I think everybody knows these companies. I don't need to mention them. Well, how to meet us? One channel is right now online. You can also meet us in our open days, which we float through our online channels. Again, IED has a lot of online channels in YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. So we do that from our website as well, through emailers to students. And that's very vital because that's the reason how you get updates from IED. We also are present very less in fairs. We do personal meetings with the students. And there is also an opportunity to create a workshop, design thinking and innovation workshop at your campus and understand. And also online counseling, webinars, the way we are doing today, and open days as well, which we call as IED Days in India. That's the website you have to follow, called www.ied.edu. Thank you so much for your time and patience. Now, if you have questions.
Thank you, sir. Do we have questions from the students?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, Amira.
So you mentioned this certain courses like restoration and Italian. So if I'd want to apply for that, I need to have a certification in the Italian language, yes?
No,
I cannot
not at
do
all.
it.
Not
Or?
at all. Okay, just if you can mute Amira because there's a background noise coming up.
Yeah.
Okay, so Amira, the thing is, you don't need an Italian language certification, okay? For any of the courses. This is for general students as well. What you need to do is just apply. If you're eligible, you come to us because this course will be in English. Now, again, I have to check for your intake. Okay, so when you intend to enter for this course, what is the targeted intake?
I still haven't completed my architectural course yet. So,
You are in your final year?
no, I'm in my third year right now.
So 2025,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So if that year this course is running in English, we generally don't need an Italian proficiency. It will be English proficiency from your side. So you can either give TOEFL or IELTS, or you can also appear for an English test online on Skype.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Don't tell me I have been so clear. Yes,
Hello,
Pranesh.
sir. What would be the average cost of living for a student who want to study in Italy?
Okay. Which is the course you are targeting?
Product design,
Product design specifically?
sir?
No? Okay. So why I ask you this question? Because the courses are in different cities of Italy. Now, if you are talking about Milan, it will be going from 1,000 euros to 1,200 euros a month, which includes everything. Okay. Now, a master course in Milan with tuition fees, and let's consider that you are not getting any scholarship, you're not getting any discounts, anything, it will cost 30 to 35 lakhs. Everything: tuition, stay, transport, extras, everything, food, everything. Okay. If you are going to Turin, that course comes down to 28 lakhs. If you are going to, let's say, Madrid, it comes more down to 25 lakhs, because the tuition fees is more or less the same in every campus. It's just the living expenses you can, tweak here and there.
So all these courses are like full-time courses, part-time.
Obviously, full-time
Okay.
courses. We don't allow you to breathe. My professors are bad.
We are already doing that.
See, your professors are already here. Don't worry.
I think we're training them well to get used to it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, Pranesh, why we believe in this is because, see, design is not something which can only be done. We, from the Italian design perspective, we don't believe that it can be done only on campus. For us, design is experience. So we always tell the students, go around the city. Okay. There is a design in a cafe, in a bistro. Okay. Have you ever heard about the concept of Armani Cafe?
Yes, sir.
I've been there. So Armani is known for what?
Suits. Suits.
No, of course not. Apparels. Apparels of fashion. Mainly Giorgio Armani is known for fashion. But very less people know that he has a gamut of interior spaces. He's created interior spaces for a lot of celebrities. He has his own chain of Armani cafes. And the interior is done by Giorgio Armani himself. And the Milan one is completely red. And one cappuccino costs nearly 110 euros. That's a pain, because outside it costs €1.
Someday, sir. Someday.
I was there someday, but I didn't have the cappuccino. I went inside, saw the menu, came back. Okay, any other question? Himani, you want to say something? I see a lot of curiosity.
Yes. Do we have dual degree option? Like it's just common question.
No. Dual degree, as in you were saying bachelor's 2 years here in India and 2 years in Italy, kind of
No,
that?
no, it's just doing two different degrees together.
No. Italy, I will clarify this question, because see, what happens in Italy is, if you are under the ministry, there is something called as EFAM. If you are under them, then it's very difficult, because they don't allow that. So we are under the ministry. We cannot do that way.
Okay, sir.
We are autonomous, but we are still under the ministry.
I have a question. What are the few tips that you would like to give our students when they're designing their portfolios before application?
Great. I will give it here, but I would want to meet all these students there on campus. Okay. And I want to really make them feel that pressure in that design thinking and innovation workshop. I want to see how you design. Anyway, so coming to your question, the question what you asked is three things I said when I'm looking for a portfolio. First, passion. Second is motivation. And third is skill set. How will you do this? Now, when you go through any portfolio, you always think about one thing, which is very wrong. It's sketching skills. We don't believe in that only. We believe sketching skills is just a tool for design, not design. So you have to have a concept which is genuine. Again, let me clarify. If you want to take a design language from, let's say, Gucci, you take it, not a problem for us. Randomize that concept. Make it yours first, okay? And then do the design process. Show us the design process. Design process means step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and final result. So, concept, design process, implementation. Understood? Himani looks full confused.
Yes,
What the
sir.
hell he's talking? Ma'am, you're clear?
Yeah, I hope the students are clear. I asked for their sake.
Yeah. So no. If see, this is a dialogue which is going on between us. Okay. So if anybody is not clear, please ask right away.
The reason why I asked this question also, they prepare the portfolios while applying for internships. That's a
Right.
different, there's a different take to that portfolio because they have to show their proficiency in not just sketching, but also technical drawings and
Right.
software skills, etc.
So let's do one thing. I'll exemplify that. That will become more easy for you. I want you to make something which has an oriental concept, materials from Japan, and infused with rural India. Can you make a portfolio out of this? And if you can, I have 3 minutes. In 1 minute, if somebody can explain this, what?
That's a great task. But what has been the general trend with Indian students there? Do they continue to work? I know you did show a few examples, but do they also come back and get into designing here?
Yes. What majority of my students have done, they are working everywhere. I mean, I would not say that only in Italy. They have gone to Spain, actually all the Schengen areas. Then some people have gone to US. There are a lot of people who have come back as well. I know a specific group of bachelor students who came back from transportation design, and they have a Studio 34 in Gurgaon, which is a group of 5 people. I mean, they did there in 2012 or 2011, and now their clients are Mercedes, BMW, Audi. Okay, then there are people who have come back and are teaching. So UPES has 2 of my students who have done masters and are professors there. Then there's MIT, Pune. So students are into varied fields. You can become a designer, you can become a tutor, you can become a mentor, you can also open up your own studio, you can also become a blogger. There is a blogger, not in India, outside India. She is in Amsterdam. There is one girl whom I know specifically because she had struggled a lot with the scholarship and everything, and she's in Gucci in Copenhagen. So that's how it is. There are a lot of varied interests. Now, when we say that we have tie-ups with these 1,000 companies, that means that it becomes easy for us to portray these students in front of the companies, because those designers come to the class, 20 students, and they can focus on the skill sets. This is for all the students. You would not believe, my professors can actually tell if Himani is let's assume Himani is a prospective student and she's studying in an interior class. My professor will tell when Himani will cry, when Himani will smile. They know them that deep. So that's what it is for us.
Great.
Any other question, guys?
Any other questions? All right. I think it's been a pleasure having you here, Mr. Sugat. Over to you, Vishnupriya.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, sir, for the session. We can now, I think, move on to DAAD Germany. So we are pleased to invite Ms. Suganya
Thank
Tamalapadi
you
for
so
this session.
much. I
Thank
would
you
leave
and
now,
have a
guys.
nice evening. Yeah. Bye.
Have a nice day to all of you. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.
Yeah, so we will now continue with DAAD, the German Academic Exchange Service. We are pleased to invite Ms. Suganya Tamalapadi for this session. DAAD promotes academic exchange between Germany and South Asia. It provides information about institutions of higher education as well as research institutions in Germany. DAAD provides fellowships and short term research grants, supports guest professorships, and helps to establish university collaborations. About Ms. Suganya, chairing this session, we have Ms. Suganya Tamalapadi from DAAD Information Point, Bangalore. She graduated with a master's in microelectronics from Hochschule Darmstadt. Um, as an intern, she worked at Texas Instruments and later worked in General Motors for 5 years. After relocating to India, she taught German language at a private institute and at Bangalore City University. She has been with DAAD since March 2021. Welcome, ma'am.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, Team RV College of Architecture. So it's nice to be again here. And thanks for the wonderful introduction too. So let's get started with the presentation or anything else hidden my to do or
No, thank you for joining us. You may start sharing this.
okay, good. Good. Hope you can see my screen.
Yes, it's
The
not in the
full.
presentation mode. It's not in the full
Okay,
screen.
just give me 1 second. Good. Now it's fine, right? You can see.
Yes.
Good. Yep. Okay. So again, once again, welcome to the session from DAAD. We are happy to share you the information about the higher education opportunities and like research opportunities, scholarships from Germany. So today our focus is mostly about students planning to do their masters after their bachelor's from Germany. Sorry, from India. So as I been introduced, I am Suganya Tamalapadi from the DAD Information Point, Bangalore. So I'm like here since 2020, 21, and will be happy to like assist you if you have any queries further on. So my office is in Cunningham Road, Bangalore. So you can book an appointment anytime and either come down or via Teams you can connect with me. So that's about what we are in Bangalore. But in general, I would like to tell about German Academic Exchange Service. Like there was a brief introduction about that already, but now I'll go in detail. So DAAD stands for it's a Deutscher Akademischer Austauschdienst. So it is the short form, literally translated to English, German Academic Exchange Service. So we are a joint organization of all higher education institutions in Germany, funded by the German government and the foreign ministry to promote higher education between both the countries. So we support students like, like academic exchange, and even students going to Germany, other way around, students planning to come to India, we support them, giving them proper information. So if the students, want to understand how the education system is in Germany, what all the requirements, all these things we do. And and as a government organization, we promote all higher education institutions in Germany. So we don't like promote one college here, one college there. So that all we will talk about in the next sessions. So our head office is in Bonn, in Germany. Apart from that, our regional office is in Delhi. Our Delhi office is responsible for India, Bhutan, Nepal, Sri Lanka, all South Asian countries. So we here grant scholarships for the students for the PhD students if you are interested in research, and also at master's level for the students, especially from the architecture, we have a scholarship. And even if you are into development related projects like like city planning, urban planning, all those things, if you are into those fields, we have certain scholarships. So apart from that, we have, as you see here, 69 offices worldwide, and our office, regional office in Delhi, is also responsible for the information points in Bangalore, Chennai, Pune, Dhaka, and in Colombo. So this is a short introduction, and along with what we do, like giving grants and explaining the students, we also do institutional visits where we go to universities and explain the students about the educational opportunities, and we conduct lots of sessions, web sessions. We conduct lots of group discussions, panel discussions, and universities come and represent themselves, like the foreign universities, like universities in Germany. Every month we have two universities come and talk about their programs, their requirements, all those things. So please go take a look in our website, like daad.in/events. If you go there, you will get to know all the upcoming events, so register for that. And all the service what we provide from DAAD, we don't charge anything from the students, so you can come to us as many times as you want, and you can attend our webinars and panel discussions whenever you have time, and like want to improve, like inform yourself better. Good. So talking about all those things, like many of you would have already done some background work. Where should I do my masters? Like, why should I go to Germany? So Germany, many, like as you see here, it is very much like learning by doing practice right from the kindergarten. It is that, like that. So that way they have a very good blend of theory and practice, and especially for the students from architecture, it is a very good, because you have to practically know and do things. So that way they have very nice courses, like not only pure architecture, you can also go in many other fields. So that I'll show you like from the website where you can find courses. And as I mentioned, just you don't have to go only for masters in architecture, they have many other courses, so you will find wide range of courses available. And being a developed country, it is very safe, economical, and it has a good opportunities for your professional growth. Like after your masters, you get some stay back visa with which you can find jobs, and German degrees are recognized in all countries very well. So this gives you the flexibility of moving around, like you can come back to India, or you can go to other countries, explore for some more years, and also you can do your PhD. So this master's course is recognized everywhere, so that you can do your PhD anywhere else in the world, or even in Germany. So that's one thing. And Germany is the land of innovation. That way they put lots of effort in research. So most of the money, like more money is invested in research. That motivates the students, like you can go for research oriented learning, and further on, like in labs, it's very good to work. Good. talking about the international students in Germany and even the internet, like, Indians in Germany, I just had a meeting with the consulate, and it was surprising to know now there are around 200,000 Indians in Germany, which is quite good number. And it's been like, increasing for the last, like, when I was like, as I was introduced, I did my master's, but way back in 2003, 4, that time. So that time we didn't have much Indians or Indian students. Now it's becoming very popular. So you see, like, in Germany there are 14% international students, and of course, like, within EU there is lots of movement, and many students come to Germany to do their higher studies or even bachelors. But apart from the European Union citizens, majority of them come from China, followed by India. It's like, very close difference between China and India. At present we have almost 32 students, like 32,000 students enrolled in Germany, which is quite a good number. That shows in this chart. What I told is like 2021-22 numbers. So here you can officially see till 2020. So 28,000 or almost 29,000 students are there in Germany now doing their, like, bachelor's, master's, PhD all put together. So now you see the like, now that we discussed about everything, I would like to talk about the types of universities. In Germany, there are three types of universities: university or the technical universities, university of applied science, college of art, film, and music. So for you students from the architecture background, technical universities or university of applied sciences could be of more interest. So it is two different set of universities planned for different curriculum. It is not one is good, the other one is not good. As you see here, the universities and technical universities focus more on, like, the more on research and more on the fundamental knowledge, whereas in applied sciences, as the name implies, they go more towards the industries, very practical way of learning. Depending on your interest, you can select from the universities or technical universities or the applied sciences. So all degree, they have equal value. It is not like I have to gain my degree from this university, because in Germany there is no ranking, unlike in other countries. So whenever you want to select a course, do not worry about the ranking, because most of them are public universities and they don't have any ranking. Your selection should be based on what you want to do. Okay, whether I want to work after this, okay, I want to go in these fields, because every university, if you go, they would have clearly listed their modules for each and every semester. Go through that and select the university, so you don't have to worry, oh, what is the ranking, am I going to the smallest city in Germany, it should be a big city. Don't worry, all cities are equally equipped, all universities have good facilities. So that way, decide your university depending on what you want to do. The same applies even for going to use or University of Applied Sciences. If you are a person who has like a vision to do your research or PhD, of course you can go for technical universities, because in University of Applied Sciences one cannot obtain PhD. So there's the fundamental difference between both the types of universities. And yeah, so mostly, like, many of you have already know, at least gained this basic information that in Germany, German is the official language, and most of the education, like, most of the Germans do their education right from kindergarten till their PhD in German language. But many universities have international programs taught for the international students in English. Especially at the master's level, you have very good number of international programs. So as you see, like, there are 2000 plus, and most of them are taught in English. So if you want, there are also bilingual courses. You can select for those which has partially taught in English, and one or two modules, if you want, you can take in German. But as an international students, you have good options to select one of those programs and continue your education in English. And yeah, here I want to tell, like, as there are, most of them are public universities in Germany, and there is no ranking. Every university is autonomous, and they have their own set of rules and regulations. So like, they don't have any common entrance test, or common eligibility criteria, nothing like that. So every university is unique, and every course program is unique. So you have to go through the university website to know what is there and apply, and according to their requirements, please sort out your application. And to know more about the individual courses, you can contact with the international office. Every university has an international office, and you can even, in fact, book an appointment with them, write to them, so they will get back with all the information about the admission requirements. Good. So I was talking more about like how to about the universities. So this is the best place. My Guide is a database from our side, with all the universities inside this. So any university you find here, you can think that is a genuine university and apply for it. This is a very good portal. You can search with your keywords, and in fact, you can contact to the universities through this. Just one second, maybe if I can. Yeah, I have kept it open. Ma'am, you can see the next, like, my screen also, right? Yes. Okay, so this is the My Guide. As I said, very nice program, like a website, myguide.de. So you can create your own profile, log in here, make a wish, like watch list kind of thing, what all I have, and even contact the universities individually from here. For example, in your case, you would like to do a master's program, and in the field of that will give English. Just start here with the keywords. Like, as you see, in general, for masters and English, there are 1600 study programs offered in English language, but you can individually search. In your case, for example, architecture, you want to do architecture and town planning, whatever keyword, what is your field of interest, just put it, and you get the list of universities. So here you get all universities, like, private, public, University of Applied Sciences, all, like, if you want, then you go through them. For example, there is an International Master of Landscape Architecture, all, like, then you can even go with the refined search. You want to go only for the interior design, or any keyword you want, urban planning, whatever you want, you can just put it here, and you will get, like, infrastructure planning, because this could vary according to your interests. So smart city solutions, urban development, so many courses are there. So for example, we'll take this urban development is one thing. So if you click here, you get the overview of what it is. Like, it is like the admission in Germany, the admissions can happen in both summer and winter being the most common intake. There are certain courses that starts even in summer. For this course, for example, it starts only in winter, and the area of study, what is there, and the focus area. So you can just go through this and check whether it is of your interest, this focus area. And then if you go here, admission requirements, that will take you to the respective university. So this is common for all, and all the websites you will find both in English and German. Yeah, so all programs offered at TU Berlin. So you can just check here. So masters in architecture, this is the program. Once you click here, you will get to know all the details. So what is it, how many credit points? So this is language of instruction German, but you will find the same thing in English also. And if you go, there are, like guidance and choosing the right degree program. So every university I mentioned, like, you have an international office. See, as you see here, academic advising service, so you can get in touch with them. So from till here, DAD has the information. From then on, we strongly recommend the students to take individually with the universities, because we don't have information about each and every university. So that's where we connect. And in Germany it works like that. German universities have no tie-up with any private consultants in India. So don't go for any consultants, directly go with the universities. That is what the universities promote. That's where their international offices are also very active. Okay, so that's one thing. This is same for all the universities, same thing. You can search here, and then like, even if anyone has some particular this one only landscape, or being in, like, you guys might know better than me, because I don't know many of your fields. So you can just whatever you want, see, landscape architecture, ecology. So just go through this website, it's very helpful, and will give you more information, insights about the available courses and details. Okay, this is what one thing about my guide, as you see here. Yeah, so how it works, as I said, you search for the courses and compare the requirements, and if you have any doubts, contact the universities, and then shortlist the universities. Like when I put for architecture, there was around 40 courses. You cannot apply for all 40. So from there, go through their curriculum and then shortlist to some, not more than 6 7 universities. Please do not apply for 10 12 universities. That makes, at the end of the day, for selecting, for yourself, very difficult. So stick to your count of 6 7 universities and make them a list, make your choices. Okay, this is my first priority, second, third, fourth, so that immediately once you get your admission letter, acceptance letter from the university, you can start going for the visa procedure. Why I'm insisting on this point is, I know students, like, they never decide. They get some students get, like, admission from one university, they don't know whether it is their choice. They will be waiting, let me get another one, another one, another one, and end of the day you'll be too late for your visa. So please avoid that thing. Have a clear vision, what I want to do, which university is my choice. Okay, so though all the universities have their own requirements, we have just put on certain things which we ask the students to keep ready. Like, in especially for the students in the 7th or 8th semester, it's good time. You have all your mark sheets, transcripts, and then keep your letter of motivation and letter of recommendation letters from your professors, if you have done any projects outside, from your mentors. So it's always good to keep all those things. And exams like TOEFL and IELTS, they are valid for 2 years. So whenever you have time, please finish it off. And at the same time, I also recommend the students to start learning German. So if you have decided or planning to go to Germany, at least learn A1 A2 level here. That makes your life very easy. Though you're going for international programs, German is very much needed. If you go to a supermarket, you want to go to a pharmacy, everybody speaks German. So these things you can do, like when you have time from your 6th 7th semester itself. Don't push it till the last minute. Oh, I'll go and learn in Germany. Of course you have to go and learn in Germany language, because you cannot master the language by learning, like, 6 months in India. But it definitely helps and makes your life, smooth at the initial days in Germany. Good. So, as I said, both intakes are possible, winter and summer. Always try to plan 10 months in advance. For example, if you guys are going for winter semester 2023, this is the high time you start gathering the information, knowing the universities, knowing their deadlines, knowing their, requirements, and then prepare your application and submit the application. So once you get the admission letter, please parallelly look for the accommodation. That is also equally challenging. And then with the admission letter and the APS certificate, which is a new visa requirement, which I'll cover in the next slides, you can apply for the visa. So once your visa is through, you can go to Germany. So these are all the steps you have to have in mind. And in any of these steps you have any doubt, please come to us. We try to explain you. And even in the application procedure, if you don't understand, so most of the applications are in English, but still some students have some queries like, what is this term we are not at understanding, anything like that, please get just get in touch with us. And when it comes when applying to the universities, many universities have their own portal, application portal, where you can apply. Some universities also have outsourced to the third party called the uni assist, where you apply your certificates, application, everything to uni assist. The uni assist will check through all the documents, application form, whether you are eligible, and then forward it to the university. But the decision whether you are admitted or not is taken by the university. So make sure, if your university doesn't accept direct application, go through UniAssist. And this point I already discussed. So yeah, good. So one good thing about Germany is, as many of you are aware of, Germany, even for the non-European citizens, or in fact non-Germans also, they do not charge any tuition fees if you go for the public universities. Yeah. And apart from the tuition fees, you have to pay a semester contribution, that is the administration charges. So around 200 to 350 euros, that depends on the university where you go and the city where you are. But this includes most of your administration fees, along with the student card with which you get concessions when you go for like any museums or any touristic places, or even you can travel within the city for a very reduced price, or in fact no extra charges you have to pay for the public transport. So this is one good thing. And but if you're going for any specific courses or private universities, there might be certain tuition fees, so that you can check through the university websites. Good. So this is all about the tuition fees. And apart from the tuition fees, of course, you also should take care of your stay expenses for the 2 years you are in Germany. So any foreign student coming to Germany should have this much amount per month, and put together 11,200 euros per annum. So you should have, this includes all your expenses, as you see, your rental, your food, your leisure activities, your medical expenses, stationaries, all put together. This is the amount. And again, it depends on your lifestyle, whether you need this much. Many students say they can manage below this itself, and if you are a party person, then you might need little more than this. So it all depends on your lifestyle, but on average, most of the students, from their experience, we know that this is quite sufficient. And in fact, many of them say they can even go a little lesser than this. But as per the rule, you should have this much amount. This makes sure that the students are well taken care for the first year without any financial burden. So this you have to put in the blocked account. So this account is called blocked account because this amount is blocked. You can access this account only after going to Germany. And oh yeah, here there is the wrong data, sorry for that. This is the right data, 11,000. Here it is 10,000 is the old one. And there is a withdrawal limit of, as you see here, 924 euros per month. You cannot, beyond that you cannot withdraw. That's the maximum amount. Okay, that way you are ensured that you have money for the first year. And the second year, to extend your visa, again you have to show sufficient funds in your account. That depends on the state where you are, the city where you are, and if you're doing any student job, or if you're doing any like internships, working under the professor, if you have any income, depending on that, the local authorities will let you know how much money you should show. That's all. And about the blocked account, and this is the like your As a student with the student visa, you can work 120 full days or 240 half a days. So you can find, like research work under the professors in the libraries. So here it is very good to have German knowledge. If you have German skill, you can find jobs very easily. So that's, as a student you have the possibility, like many students also work in exhibition halls, restaurants, and many public places, just to improve their communication skills and get along the people, get that's all possible. And please make sure that you are active in applying, looking for the opportunities. Your networking is very, very important even after reaching Germany. Get after completing your course, you get a stay back visa of 18 months in Germany, which is really good. Like, this starts after you graduate. Okay, once you complete your course, it's almost 1.5 years visa you get. So this time most of the students used to search for new jobs, or if you want to go to other country, you can check for that, or if you want to do PhD, anything you can check here. And once you get the job, from your student visa you will be converted to the work visa. And every year, for till certain year, you will be under this extension of visa. And then later on you can check how will you get your permanent residence, citizenship. All those things happens later on. Okay. Yep. And so I was talking about the new visa procedure. Like as I said, don't delay. Immediately once you get the admission letter, you have to book the slots for visa. And before going for visa, this is something new that has come from November, very important. It's called the APS certificate. It's the Akademische Prüfstelle in German, called Academic Evaluation Center. The office is in Delhi. Any student going for visa should have this certificate. So for bachelor's and master's students, if you're planning to go to Germany to do your master's, you should have this. What this organization does is, you have to submit all your certificates, right from your 10th standard, 12th standard, anything you want, anything you have done, that has to be applied, sent to this evaluation center. They check through the genuinity of the certificates, whether this candidate, for example, they have done an RV College of Architecture. They'll get in touch with your professors and check whether this candidate has done from this university. Is this the genuine certificate issued? And this is done for all, from any, even if you do any TOEFL or A1 certificate, whatever it is, you have to send to this organization. They will check it and issue the certificate. So they issue 5 certificates, so which you can use for the visa. And now slowly even the universities are requesting. So now it is not mandatory for the universities, but certain universities now ask APS certificate as part of their application requirements. So anyone planning to do, please inform yourself about APS. It is the website I've put here, apsindia.de. So go through their website, know what is the requirement. I have put in the next slide how it works. So please go inform about what APS is, and then register for the port, like APS website. You have to pay certain fees for this evaluation, submit your documents. Once it is verified by the APS, they issue the certificate. So this APS certificate as of now is mandatory for visa. Please take care of that. And eventually even the universities might ask this. Good. Fine. So once you have the certificate and your admission letter, you're all good to go. Then please book an appointment at the earliest with the VFS office or the consulate. So for the students from Karnataka and Kerala, German consulate in Bangalore is responsible. So try to book an appointment, and then with the proper documents, like what all documents you need for the visa is that it's put in the checklist in the consulate website. Please take a close look at it and submit all the required documents, like the bank statement, like the blocked account details, your APS certificate, admission letter, health insurance, whatever is put there. Try to submit it for any, without any delays. You will be granted visa. And here again, I insist that you can do most of the application work yourself. You don't need any assistance from any private consultants, or even the consulate doesn't look forward for that. They say, like, if the student is prepared to go for an international course or foreign country, you are like, he or she should be in the position to do all their works themselves. So that is the German way of doing things. You have to be on your own. Good. As in the introduction, German Academic Exchange Service, DAAD, has lots of funding. We also promote exchange activities, study visits, and short-term courses, many things. So you see here, we at the master's level, we have for architecture. These are all the general programs we have, the scholarship programs. So here, that is related for you is the development related postgraduate courses and postgraduate studies in the field of architecture. Both are interesting. Along with that, for the professors, there are also like study visits, like where the professors can identify the universities and take their students for like 10 days to visit a university or the research institutes in Germany. So that's from the professor side. So like, if you are like, identifying the university is done by the professors, and once you have the link, you can approach DAD for the support to go for your stay in Germany. And even for the short-term stays for the research professors, there are certain funding programs. So as like for the students, what is interesting is this one, postgraduate studies in the field of architecture. So this is for the master students. You have 861 euros per month plus the additional allowances you get. This is for the courses if you want to do your master's program in recognized public universities. So how it works, I can even go through our scholarship database. I have kept that open here. So please go to our website, daad.in. I did put one extra A. Yeah. So here, what all I just showed you, you can go here for master studies. You can just go through our website. All the information I just shared, if you want to revisit it or learn again, you can find all the information here. Okay, that is one thing. And why I wanted to come here is find funding scholarship database. As you see here, these are all the scholarship for the PhD students. And this is what I said, research stays for the academics and scientists. This could be interesting for the professors. And study visits, this is also what I said, short term, the students can go visit the German university or research institutes along with their professors. So this is what I wanted to show you in the field of architecture. So you go here, you get the entire overview. So here you first apply for the DAD scholarship. You submit your application, and you also submit your sample works, all those things, and it will be examined. And after, sometimes if you have the university admission already, you can parallelly send it to us. Or sometimes it happens that the students first apply, get their scholarship, meanwhile you will look for the universities. But the DAD scholarship comes into valid only if you get admission in one of the German public universities. Okay, so that is the minimum requirement. So you can read through all what is this and the duration of funding, and then the value. Oh, okay, now see, I just wanted to let you know this is also changed now with the new blocked account amount. This is also updated. And you also see here, if you go for the application requirements, so what all required. So what requirements must be met? Your degree should not be older than 6 years, your bachelor's. So that is one thing. And you cannot stay in Germany for more than 15 months and then apply for this. These are all the basic things. Apart from that, as you see here, all requirements and even the procedures, what all needs to be updated and then uploaded for all it was your sample works, and everything is detailed here. And then you also see that deadline. when it is. Okay, so please go take some time, read through that. Any information you can, like further information, you can come to us. So this is one thing I wanted to show. This is for all students who plan to go to Germany immediately after their masters. But of course, there are students who work for certain years in the respective field and then want to go do their masters. For such students, this program is very interesting. It's the development related postgraduate courses. So where there are certain programs you are eligible, and this is for like with work experience, in relevant work experience for 2 years, and these courses are funded. For example, in the field of development, just a second, you have yeah, see here, urban management and then urban planning, like like there are certain courses which are relevant for your field. Just go through this landscape ecology and like anything in your field, if you find interesting, you can apply for this, but the requirement for this is you should have 2 years of work experience. So these programs all, please go to our website, you will find all the relevant information. Good. So that's all about the scholarship. Just take some time, go through that, you will understand. Yeah. So that's about the scholarship from the field of architecture, and the study visits and the development related projects. All those things you can just check through our website for more information. Good. And apart from that, what all I just shared, we have put the links, important links here. Just take a screenshot or note it down, and this information you will find in our website. You can go through that, and for further queries, we are always there. And Information Point Bangalore, I'm the only person here, so you can refer to this day, this communication. I have this questions further. Anytime you can reach us or reach me, to be in fact precisely put. Good. I think with that, I am through my presentation. So you guys have any queries, I am there to answer. And thanks a lot for organizing and for your time.
Thank you, ma'am. It was a thank you for your very crisp session. It was very informative. I if the participants have questions, they can please put it in the chat box.
Before or while the others ask questions, ma'am, I think I have this recurring question of what after the masters, what do they do? What do most of our students or Indians do over there? And what is the work profile that they have?
Yes, see, being a developed country, they have quite good chances of finding a job there. Most of the students, like find a job immediately after their masters, because they'll be doing their internship, their thesis. Somehow they have the link connection with the industries, or and then they do some jobs, and they have 18 months of stay back. So many continue with their PhD, and there are also students who come back to India, continue, like some have their own like family business, they have gone just for the exposure, so they come again, start working here. And some even go for other countries to do their PhD, and many continue PhD also in Germany. So that way options are open. So it's always good to explore, and depending on the students interest, they stay back, come back, go to other countries, do research, start working. In any case, like I've insisted that many times in my presentation, especially for the students from architecture, you'll be like working with local people, right? So you have to improve your knowledge with the German language. So that's very, very important. That even answers the question about the job opportunities for Indian students. So there is no like Indian students or foreign student, no difference. That way in Germany, if you have good skill and good command of knowledge, like language, chances are good that you get placed in very good firms. So like as I mentioned, there is a huge increase in number of Indians staying in Germany now. Today, like I was even surprised to know there are almost 200,000 Indians in Germany, and that shows that there is job market open, and at all levels. Like I can't say only in the engineering or the technical. So now it's open for all levels, and that way chances are good. But at the same time, going to Germany is just a starting. So don't retire. Oh, I am in Germany now. I can, just sit back and relax. That's not the point. So you have to, upskill yourself, learn. That helps to get a good job. Good. I see any other questions?
So the scholarships that you were talking about, were they very recently introduced, like the ones that encourage you to apply after working or after some work experience?
No,
Also,
ma'am, that's there from long time. The development
yes.
related project is there. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I was unaware of it.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's from quite some time.
Mhm. So the cost of living has changed now because of
Of
the
the
economic
inflation.
situation.
Yes, 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 ma'am. It's like now like 934 euros
Mm.
per month. Yeah.
Mm. Great, ma'am. I think yes, Vishnupriya. Do we have any
Yeah,
questions?
yeah, there's one question. So regarding the work experience that ma'am spoke about, it is compulsory to have a minimum 2 years, right?
Yes.
For courses where that requirement is not there, like along with our portfolio, would it be beneficial if we also had other co-curriculars in place, like, or is it an expected criteria?
No, for this particular program, which is the development related postgraduate studies, you should have 2 years of work experience in the relevant field.
Okay,
So this is also for those selected 35 or 40 courses which I showed, no, the PDF with the list of only for those courses you can avail scholarship.
okay. So in cases where work experience is not a required criteria, is our portfolio along with our like the projects that we have worked on and the academic, the transcripts, etc., that would be enough, right?
Yes, yes, that's enough. So even for the university admission, even for the other scholarship, so you upload your documents along with your work samples, whatever you have done, and whatever you feel relevant for that particular university or particular course, please send them all.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. And best thing I would always suggest is to write a good SOP. That's very important because the professor sitting over there, has to see you in that letter. So your motivation. So that put some time, put your effort in creating your CV, and it doesn't have to be pages of resume. Let it be like crisp 2 pages. That's enough. And but clearly state what have you done, and then try to gain some practical experience. Like whenever you have holidays, breaks, try to get some exposure. Like you don't have to be in like doing for months. Even a week or 2 weeks of any training, it would really add to your profile.
Okay.
Do you also help in formulating the SOP in the sense that I understand the European universities, the sort of language they expect or the directness that they expect in the SOP is very different from USA. So they look at more USA, I would say, look at the meat and a little more drama, I would say, and compared to Europe. I don't know if I'm making a very wrong judgment here, but would you would you
Uh,
guide students in the SOP?
Actually, no, we don't have anything like that. We generally don't involve in the application process for the students.
Hmm.
But you can check for the European standards SOPs, and like as you like correctly put, it has to be to the point.
Yeah.
Like the German professors generally like your statement to the point. You tell like the first paragraph, introduce yourself, what like who you are, what you have been doing, and then why is your interest, like what made you select this course, and how it will benefit you, and what is the outcome of that,
Hmm.
and how dedicated you are towards higher studies. These are all the points you have to cover. And anything like if you have done for example some internship or project that made you select this course, you can couple of lines you mention. So I was part of this program, I was part of this training, so with that I developed interest. So that's trigger from where you got. So that
Right.
is also very good to mention.
Hmm. Do we have any more questions?
Good. Fine. Yeah, but anyway,
Okay.
any questions you can touch
Yes,
base with me.
for sure. I will also share your contact and email ID with the students, and they
Sure,
can
ma'am.
get in touch
Yeah,
with you.
please do that.
Thank you so
Um,
much. It's been a pleasure having you again. Uh, we'll
yes,
keep in touch for any more such
sure.
opportunities.
Yes, thanks a lot. Thanks for having me today, and wish you all the best for the students. Good luck, and also a nice weekend ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Um, so,
Do we have the next speaker? If not, we can take a 10-minute break and come back at 4 o'clock.
Hi, we're actually here, but if you guys want to go ahead with the break, that's okay, and we can start at 6. Sorry, 4.
Okay.
6:30.
6 for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, Students, what do you think? I leave it to you guys. You need a break?
Ma'am, we can continue.
Sorry?
Ma'am, I think we can continue.
You continue? Okay.
We can start the session.
Uh, you're not clear at all, Pranesh.
Ma'am, he's saying that we can continue with the session.
Okay. So let's continue. So Priya, over to you.
Yeah.
yes, ma'am. So now we have from National University of Singapore, Ms. Shruti Sunil and Ms. Madhumitaa with us here. Introducing our speakers for the session, Ms. Shruti did her schooling in Dubai and completed undergraduation in BArch at Satyabhama Institute of Science and Technology, Chennai, through which she cultivated the interest and passion towards urban design. She's currently pursuing Master of Arts in UD at NUS. Um, we also have Madhumitaa Arunan, who is currently a student at NUS, an architect from Chennai who received her bachelor's degree in architecture from Anna University after completing 5 years of the course from Chennai Academy of Architecture and Design. Having attended international design studios at Alpha College, Malaysia, and Sri Patum University, Bangkok, during her undergrad, her interest in the field of urban design developed, and during her academic internship at Shankar Narayan Architects in Hyderabad, she worked on urban design projects for the Hyderabad Metro Rail that dealt with utilizing derelict spaces under railway flyovers into usable public spaces, which activated the space itself along with the neighborhood and also helped in improving the economy. Inspired by this, she took forward this concept and developed a dissertation paper and thesis dealing with how derelict urban infrastructure can be used as a meaningful multifunctional space. This invoked Ms. Madhumitaa's curiosity about the professional field of urban design, leading her to pursue her dreams at NUS. Welcome, Ms. Madhumita and Ms. Shruti.
Hi, thank you guys. Thank you for the introduction. So can we go ahead with the presentation?
Yeah.
We will just share a screen.
Can you guys see our screen?
Yes.
Also, let us know if we're not audible at some point, so that we just don't go on talking and you guys can just interrupt us in case we're not audible.
It's clear as of now.
Okay. All right.
So hi, we are Madhumitaa and Shruti, and we're doing Masters of Arts in Urban Design from NUS, and we're currently in the second semester. So the program was launched in 1998, and currently we're celebrating our 25th anniversary. And this was one of the first urban design programs in Asia. This is a 1 year full-time program. So if you want, you can do it for part-time also for 2 years. And we have a mix of studios and theory, and that's how it goes. And one advantage of the program is that it's situated in Singapore, and Singapore being a country which has been developed rapidly in a short span of time and which is dealing with density and growth. This is a really good prototype for us to go ahead and research on it. So the aims is that to get a global perspective on Asian urban design challenges. So we have tutors coming from different part of the world, and they give their knowledge about how the urban design and how cities function in the ancient context. And Singapore has a laboratory, as we said, for high density urbanism, collaborative learning to nurture leadership for greater cities. So we work in groups for the studios, and the group consists of very mixed people from different ethnicities and people from different backgrounds. So there will be one person who's an architect, an urban planner, and a landscape architect. So it's mixed, and you get exposure from different people from different backgrounds. And next is broad exposure through varsity, industry, government, and partnerships. So here we have a lot of people coming from different government agencies and the big architecture firms here. So through them, you get a lens through what the urban design field of Singapore and how it functions here. And so our curriculum is divided into 2 semesters, and the first one is a foundation stage where you deal and learn about the basic process of it. So the urban design studio is the main design studio, and other 4 theory subjects, it helps and it relates to the studio. So it's not like really disconnected. Whatever you learn in the theory subjects, you just apply it on the studio. And second is a developmental stage, which is so from the process you've learned in the first semester, you take it forward, and here you are given different niches, and the studio is divided into 3, and each studio is called, they concentrate on a different and a particular niche, and your design is focused on that. And in the second semester, we also have an option where you can choose between the 2 electives, or you can do an urban design dissertation. And if you chose a dissertation, your semester is a bit longer. And so in the second semester, we also have the subject called Critiques of Contemporary Urban Design, where different industry professionals come in, and they talk about their projects in Singapore. And from them, we learn a lot about how the industry here functions.
Yeah, so the application process, the period is usually it's from November 15th to Jan 15th, and the people who can apply for this particular program is you have in your built environment disciplines, which is your architecture, urban planning, landscape architecture, and environmental design. And you even have related disciplines like people from real estate, transport planning, building environment, project management, and human geography. So professional experience relevant to urban design is preferred. And the deliverables are usually your design portfolio and a CV, plus your statement of purpose, letter of recommendations, additional certificates that support your position for this particular master's program. And actually, I had an interview process because I applied during my final year of bachelor's in architecture. So I had to go through the interview process. But I think Madhu didn't have the interview. So it depends on when exactly. So I didn't have a professional experience. I immediately had applied for this program right after my bachelor's. So I just had my internship experience, which is why I had an interview process. And again, we didn't have IELTS because our medium of undergraduate education is English. So it depends on which university you are. So based on that, you'll be having to, submit your IELTS certificate or your TOEFL. And the further details are there in the program website as well.
And as for scholarship and financial assistance, they select one student every year at the end of the course, and they would receive a cash prize of $300 for someone who has outstanding academic records. And to just give a gist of the first urban design studio, so we had two sites, one in Tokyo and one in Singapore. And the two sites which we have given for comparison had a very similar context. And our brief was to understand the site and learn from Tokyo. And it was more like you learn from Tokyo and how you apply it in Singapore. So each group was asked to identify a problem in the site and how the brief was to make it better and how you solve the urban design problem through different strategies. So the process is that first you have a site analysis workshop for like 3 weeks, and then you go into the concept plan, which develops into a guide plan, and then you go into the detailed master plan, and then you develop typologies which support your master plan.
Actually, the reason we had this particular Tokyo Singapore context is because we were the 25th batch. So they had a collaboration with Meiji University from Tokyo. So the students from Meiji University were also having the similar design, and we were also having. So this is very specific to our batch, this particular cross collaborative design process. And again, to further go from what Madhu was saying, this is just few of our final design sheet work. So we go from a perspective of like a global scale. So we actually focus first on the sustainable development, UN's sustainable development goals, and then we go into Singapore's challenge and target for 2050. And based on that, we design. So our entire design process is for 2050 of Singapore. And then we have a concept plan, site transformations, and I'm not going to go very much into the details because it can be very overwhelming. So urban amateur, urban apparatus, master plan, and your typology is much more into your architectural oriented, and then you have your outcomes, which is based on like a quantitative results. So this is just a gist about like how we went through our process. So like Madhu had said, there are, in terms of career options, we do have a lot of companies like government and private companies who come and interact with us a lot. And this particular semester, we actually have an entire module where we have every week companies coming and presenting it to us. So we can always interact with them and look out for internship opportunities. Because actually today we just attended the career fair that's been hosted by our university. So we have around, I think, 1,000 companies coming and presenting, and we can interact with them, submit our CV and our portfolio, and it's quite an interactive. So there's like a pool of opportunities that the university itself provides for us to further step into the career process. And we usually start with an internship, and then it continues into a job. So usually that's the process. This is just like few pictures into our life at the MAUD studio. So we have design discussions, you have like a lot of intermediate critics, and you have site visits. So there was that picture where the Meiji students had come to Singapore, and we had a collaborative design charrette. And you have, since we were the 25th batch, we had international lecture series from people all around the world. So that was the seminars and guest lectures. And again, our university, we had gone to Tokyo as a part of the process. So that was the field trip. So this is just our studio. We have our main studio is actually in a government building in NUS campus. It's only for MAUD students. So we have our main design studio there, and we have our theory lectures in the SDE4 building. So yeah, thank you. And you can get to know more about how the process or like how the work life is in our Instagram page, which is the NUS Urban Design. And then we have also attached the link for like further information, and you have the brochure and the prospectus of this particular program in depth on the website. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Before landing at NUS, what was your process of selecting universities or applying for universities? I think the students would be more interested in that.
So my criteria is that the place where I'm doing my masters should have a good potential for urban design, and it should have good career opportunities. So Singapore, I've seen a lot of projects where Singapore firms come to India and they carry out the urban design. So I think Singapore is a really good place where you can study this field and explore more about it. And Singapore as a city, it's grown a lot in like what 50 years. From slums, it's become like super modernized, and this is a really nice place to see and learn.
And for me, I think I was still a student when I had applied for this program. So I had actually, when I had done my internship as a part of my bachelor's degree, I was exposed to a urban design project. Plus, we have a semester in our bachelor's itself where we are exposed to that process. Just so you know, the process is very different from what we do in our bachelor's. It's not how master's is. It's very different, actually, the process. But just getting to know, I think like it's honestly to see a bigger picture for both of us. I felt like architecture is very site oriented, building oriented, and I feel the future is there's going to be a limitation for construction, and there's going to be more scope for like designing spaces for the environment, much more at a city scale and a neighborhood scale, which is why I wanted to go for this approach. But again, I didn't want to jump into the whole master's thing. So I did a course for like 3 weeks, online course, which is done by professors at Harvard, just to know again like the process and everything. So I did that during the COVID time, and so I got to know a process a little bit, and then I had to be sure before I apply for this program, and then I spoke to a few people, my seniors from this particular university, and then I applied for this program.
And what is life like after campus hours?
Actually, just like like many people are asking about part time, we would suggest not to work at the same time and do a full time program unless you have a job in Singapore. Then you can take the part time program. But if you're doing full time and you want to work, that's very difficult because we are at the studio most of the time. It's like 9 to 6. Since it's group work, you can't just go back home and do your work. It's like a very interactive process, so you need to be with your group. So I think there's a lot of studio sessions where you're just there from morning till night, just discussing. So life it's hectic, but because it's a 1 year program, they need to put everything in that 1 year. So the courses are quite hectic, but semester 2 is a lot more easier than semester 1, because first semester we're just figuring out the context of Singapore. You're trying to figure out the system, how everything works, just in terms of site analysis. You're learning the whole thing, so that it's a bit of a struggle in the beginning. I mean, not more actually, it's quite hard in the beginning. But this semester we are used to that context, so understanding the terms, understanding how the country works, it makes the whole design process a lot more.
So, what are some of the additional skill sets that you think our students should develop beyond BARC to get into or to get accustomed to the teaching in NUS? Like you did a course out of your own interest, of course, but is there something that we lack in our BARC that you think the students can develop further? For example, software skills or any analytical mapping tools? Or
So, as for software skills, I think it's not like they're restricting you to use a particular software. It's just your own design and your own process, and you're free to do whatever you want. Other than that, I think like what Shruti did, you can get to know more about the urban design field to know that you're making the right decision.
Software skills, it's pretty much your SketchUp, Photoshop,
Yeah.
whatever you're comfortable with. The thing is, we have a lot more Chinese students in class, so they have a separate set of softwares that they use. But end of the day, it's about each person's comfort. So we ended up continuing the usual softwares like AutoCAD, SketchUp, Photoshop, InDesign, and all that. So that's in terms of software, it's okay. But like, I would suggest people take a small course on urban design before doing the main master's program, because we took a lot of time to shift from the focus of architecture into urban design. So our professors usually keep telling us, okay, stop thinking like an architect, because architecture is very building oriented. The scale is very small. So you go into the finer details, but urban design is more about systems and strategies. So that shift from architecture to urban design, that takes a while, and we kind of got the hang of it only towards the end of the semester. Although I did this program, it did still take me. So I would just say people should do some courses like this, just so that they know what they're getting into. It doesn't just seem like a fancy thing to do urban design. Get an idea, and then be sure about masters, because we are spending a lot for this education. Singapore is one of the most expensive countries in the world. So you are investing time, you're investing money. So you need to be really sure about your education over here. Yeah.
What is the tuition fee there?
For
It's
20,
42,000 Singapore dollars.
so that's around 22 lakhs Indian rupees,
24
just for your
lakhs.
education. Yeah.
Right. Okay. There's another question in my head. Right. What are the other disciplines that you get allied with? I know planning is there. I saw your schedule. But apart from that, anything to do with sustainable materials or building sciences that you collaborate with, or it works as a separate wing?
So for the design studios, we don't collaborate. It's just our own urban design studio. But then for theory and electives, you have students coming in from other courses. You have students coming in from sustainable design, urban planning, and we are sharing this elective module with real estate students. So during that, I think we can collaborate with them. But for design studio, it's just restricted, because
Just urban design.
we only restricted for students who are from design background. So if you're from engineering, you can't take urban design.
So semester 1 we have QGIS. So that's actually a software class. So they teach you that particular software. So we have students from IST. We have students. IST is Integrated Sustainable Development, and we have students from real estate as well. And we have a subject on urban economics, which is based on policy. So we have again sustainability students and urban planning students. This semester also, yeah, we have like quite a few other departments, but within our class itself, we have people from different fields who have done their bachelors. So usually they team you up in a way where you have one architect, one landscape architect, one planner. So that's how the teams are usually made, so that each person can bring in their field, since all of them have, I mean, that's what constitutes urban design. So they team you guys up in that way, so that there's diversity in the team. So you get to understand, you learn that way as well.
Right. Maybe the student should ask some questions. So the admission criteria included a portfolio as well?
Yeah. And they have specific standard and format for portfolio, and I think that's also mentioned in the website.
That's
all of that.
And how are the job opportunities for Indian students?
Sorry, can you repeat?
How are the job opportunities for Indian students?
How is it for the Indian students here?
Job, I think.
Oh,
Job
job.
opportunities.
There's actually a work ratio in terms of Singapore citizens and Indians, because there's priority for Singapore citizens, because for Indians you need to sponsor a work visa, so they definitely have an edge. But that's every country, right? So you always give importance to your citizens before international students. So they have an edge, but I mean, end of the day, if you're good with your work, then there's always scope of opportunities for you. And again, for this program, there's 2 Indians intake per year for this, and there's only 1 intake for this course. It's only August intake, and they take only 2 Indians per year. Yeah.
You were also mentioning that you had a different interview because you didn't have a work experience or something. So it's better to have a work experience. Um,
It depends actually.
is it
So
that?
while selecting students for the course, you're not done, sorry.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, is work experience required? I mean, how
Yeah.
is it helpful? Like, yeah.
So while selecting students for the course, they tend to take a mixed batch. So a few of us, in a few of our classmates, have 9 to 10 year experience, and there are a lot of fresh graduates and people with 1 or 2 years experience. So work experience is not a mandatory thing, but sometimes maybe it gives you an edge. But it depends. It's not
Yeah,
necessary.
I think it depends on your portfolio and your CV, because she has work experience. I didn't have work experience when I applied, so they usually have a mix of, like she said. So it really depends on how good your work is. So when you make the portfolio, also you need to show more about public space, how you how if you've done any designs on public space, that has to be reflected in your portfolio, how you're understanding it from a user interface, but not just a client, but how a public would use that space. So your portfolio has to reflect those kind of projects. So that again has an edge. So yeah.
Thank you.
Actually, there are a lot of domains in this field, a lot of branches of masters after architecture. So, how did you choose this master's program from NUS?
I think it was very like a personal interest, because I feel like there was, you have, I think, masters in architecture, you have sustainability, conservation, and then urban design, urban planning. These are like the main things people go for. But sustainability is, it's not like a thing you need to like do it separately. Every design you do has to incorporate sustainability, and we do have that in our design as well. It's like a mandatory thing at this point, so I don't suggest taking that as a master's program. Conservation stocks is, it's for someone who's more into the heritage, heritage culture and all that. People can go for that, but for us both, I think it was more about seeing the bigger picture and what the world is like in the future, what has more potential in terms of career. Architecture, as we know, like I would, in India, I mean, it's, the value for architecture is quite less, and the scope for urban design is zero at this point. It's just getting there, but it has to reach that point where we need to shape the cities. We need to keep making our cities better, more sustainable, more resilient with climate change and all that. So getting an education here, and then going back to people want to go back to India, you get an education here, and then when you go into practice there, by the time India hopefully will reach that point where it's adopting urban design practice a lot more, since that is the future. So I would say like that's exactly why I think both of us wanted to go for that.
I think it's your personal interest, and you would develop that through your 5 years of architecture.
But again, if anyone wants to go for masters of architecture, that's their interest.
Yeah.
When you want to, like, if you want to go into a building oriented design, but for us it was at a city planning scale, so that's why we had gone for that.
Some people look at choosing masters based on the career that is available for them after graduation, right? So, what do you think is moving hot nowadays in Singapore as a profession? Is it urban design, urban planning, or sustainable design?
I think urban design uh, with sustainable design integrated, I think that has really good scope in Singapore.
Mhm.
Even if you're again considering going back to India, I think it doesn't, urban design, especially maybe sustainable design to some extent, but urban design does not have much scope. So I think like where do you want to settle and where do you see your career go was also the one of the reasons which you consider while before taking your course.
Yeah. So if you want to come back to India, you can. I think there are courses in India. You have SPA, you have SET, where you have urban design for 2 years. I think 2 years courses are accepted in India for a job in urban design. Since ours is a 1 year course, I don't think that's accepted in India. So, like she said, it depends on where do you want to go move. So if you want to work in Singapore or the Middle East or US or those countries, then yeah, definitely this has a lot of career opportunities and scope.
Yeah, and also like Shruti said, it's a 1 year course, and if you want to go into the teaching field in India, they don't recognize a 1 year course for the profession as a professional course. So those are the small things you have to consider, and then you should choose a course.
So Shruti, sorry, Pranesh, the one last question. So you said you attended an interview, right? So if any of our
Yeah.
students also will be in that position, what should they be prepared for in the interview?
I think so. The few questions they asked me was why I want to take urban design after doing my bachelor's in architecture, and they asked me which urban designer inspired me through the process, and what's my ultimate goal. Like, why? What do you want to do after you do your urban design program, and how do you think it will benefit the country you're coming from? So these were the three questions they had asked me, and end of the day, I think you need to be very passionate about it. So your answers will come in automatically. It can't be like I want to do masters, so I just want to like try it out urban design. I think you need to be very clear about why this program is important and how you want to benefit the community. It's not just about you. It's about how you want to benefit the community, how you want to benefit the world. So your answers also have to be related to that. So it's again like everything in urban design is the bigger picture. Even when we come to design, when we design our site, we are still thinking about Singapore as a country, what are the needs, and we design based on that. So make sure always your answers are related to benefiting the community and the bigger picture rather than how it would be beneficial for you, this particular program. Yeah.
Yes, Pranesh, you had a
Ma'am, you
question.
asked my question also. You asked just what I'm about to ask, so it covers.
Okay, great. It was great having both of you here. If there are no more questions, then should we end?
Yes, ma'am. I think we can
Shruti?
close the session. Thank you, Madhumitaa, and thank you, Shruti, for your valuable insights. Now I hand over the session to Hiranmai ma'am for the vote of thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you so
As
much.
we come to the thanks, guys. Nice meeting you. As we come to the end of season 3 of GlobEd, it is my pleasure to thank each one of you for making this event a success. Firstly, I thank the student coordinators, Vishnupriya, for hosting and leading the event, Himani, Sunanda, and Pranesh, who have actively helped us in the planning of this event. On behalf of my faculty co-member, Vidyavi, and the student coordinators, I would like to thank all the universities and representatives who took time off their busy schedules to help our students and young graduates. Thank you for engaging the participants and answering all of their questions and concerns. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you, dear participants, for joining us and making the event a successful one. We hope that this attempt has been well appreciated by all of you, and we request you to fill up a short feedback form that will help us work for the better. The link to the form has been put up in the chat box, and we will also share it in the WhatsApp group. As promised, we will continue to bring many more such sessions spread throughout the academic year to host exclusive sessions with universities and the plethora of interesting courses made available by them. Please follow our Instagram page for more information about the future events. I once again remind everyone to fill up the feedback form. Good day and thank you. Thank you all for joining us today. See you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Have a
ma'am.
nice day. Have a nice day, ma'am.
Thank you. See you.